It is time once again for another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. As always, I thank you for taking the time to watch my videos, which hopefully you do find informative. And when you go to your local bookstore, you have a look at the book that I'm about to review for you today. And the book is, let's get the shiny cover going here, Edibles and Wild Plants and Herbs, a compendium of recipes and remedies by Pamela Michael, paintings by Christabel King. This is published by Grub Street and it retails for $45. There are a lot of edible plants out there, and this book brings to light those plants that maybe we see and perhaps we take for granted. There's a use for them, and in this book, over 100 edible plants and herbs are mentioned, along with some amazing illustrations by Christabel King. As well, there are over 400 recipes from these edible herbs and vegetables. So if you've always been curious about that herb or whatever you see at the side of the road, it just might be something you could have for supper. The book is alphabetical, and the very first herb noted is called agrimony. And this is only found in Britain, Europe, and Scandinavia, either found at the side of the road or edges of fields. And it's been around for quite some time because 18th century physicians prescribed it for people who suffered from jaundice. And they mix it with honey. And even today, there are those who have recommended that you use it as a sort of gargle to help with throat problems. So I never heard of agrimony, but this is the most fascinating. As well, covered in the book is the famous dandelion, what we see every spring covering our gardens. But a lot of people have in the past talked about dandelion wine, and dandelion wine is mentioned in the book. But there are also other uses for dandelion. There is dandelion soup, dandelion and ham mold, dandelion coffee, and dandelion fizz. So if you're looking for something different to do with your dandelions instead of just pulling them out of the yard, well, you might be having them with your next meal. It's hard to say. But all in all, the book is just filled with so many herbs and plants, many we are most familiar with. And there's a lot as well, too, that it's like, I never heard of that. I didn't know it exists. So just as a general cross-section here, there's fennel, which we've heard of fennel. That's popular. There is also, there's so many recipes here, I got to get to the main. There's elder, and there's elderberry, of course. There is crab apples, which we've heard of. Colt's foot, clover, well, we know clover. And there's just so many here in the book. Roses, what to do with roses. You can more than just smell them. You can make a lot of foods from roses. There's wild raspberry, there's field mushrooms, there's puffballs that are mentioned, there's hazel, and there's hawthorn, and there's just so many more. So if you're looking for a very informative book, and you might be surprised at what you can do with those herbs and what plants that you see at the side of the road or in your garden. So pick this up and have a look through it, because I'm sure you're going to find something of interest. And like I say, it might be at your next meal. So that's the book I wanted to draw to your attention this time out. Hopefully, if you do go to the bookstore and you do purchase it, you will let me know if you do agree with my review. So until we meet again, and we will with another great book, stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. Thank you again.